Aloha, my friends, and good day, grand rising, happy December 14th. Big news today: Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet of the media, the planet that relates to all things of the mind, has gone fully retrograde starting today, December 14th. And so, what does that mean? How might that be affecting us energetically? How can we sort of roll with that energy to actually activate its power for transformation and healing and be empowered by it? Okay, so first off, the sign that Mercury will be retrograde in is Sagittarius. So, what is the energy of Sagittarius? If we know that Mercury as a planet represents the mind, thought, intelligence, intellect, communication. Mercury represents the post office, it represents social media, it represents the internet, it represents every channel from which our thought flows out into the world and then affects others to create a response. Stimulus, response, thought, expression. That's Mercury. It's fast. The day of the week associated with Mercury is Wednesday. Yesterday was Wednesday, and that was actually the day Mercury began to turn retrograde. And so, any of you out there notice there was something interesting about yesterday, right? We came from this fabulous, powerful, transformational new moon on Tuesday. Sun and moon in Ophiuchus, the sign of the mystic, the initiate, the wizard, the shaman, the sign of magic and mastery, right? Powerful energy. And Mercury, the planet of communication, is now retrograde. Okay, so it's a lot of deep energy. What does it mean? What can we use? What we can do with this energy, and how can we use it for our highest and best good? So now that we've discussed what Mercury is, right? This moment, us sharing, me bringing communication through for you, that is Mercury, right? Anytime you're watching a video and you're listening to information, that is Mercury, okay? Anytime you're speaking and delivering information, that is Mercury. In Greek mythology, Hermes, or Mercury, was portrayed as the messenger god who delivered messages between all the other gods. And so in Greek mythology, all the gods lived on Mount Olympus. Some lived in different places and locations, and Hermes would deliver messages to each of the gods. He even had wings on his sandals to depict the energy of movement, that he was always in movement. And so Mercury also rules the nervous system, interestingly, and the nervous system is the communication system of our entire body. Okay, so it's very probable, very likely, that with Mercury retrograding today officially, there could be things you're noticing with your nervous system. Okay, things happening in the channels of your energy field, and you want to be really careful. One, that you could be getting overstimulated and you need to take some time to just slow down. Or two, Mercury retrograde could be calling attention to, do you have some sort of challenge in your nervous system? Do you have a block? Do you have a perturbance? Do you have some type of block to the energy flowing in your nervous system? So that said, what could you do about that? Well, one thing in the healing world that affects and uplifts the nervous system is acupuncture. So this is a really good time for getting acupuncture, because acupuncture treats the energy systems of the body. You could also learn TFT, or learn how to tap on the points of your meridians to help clear out any stagnation that this Mercury retrograde might be bringing to the surface. Okay, so now we've addressed Mercury, first of all. Next, Lotus, what is a retrograde, right? What does Mercury retrograde even mean? Okay, so Mercury retrograde, or any planet being retrograde, in the beginning of that word, retro means from the past. grade, right? So retrograde means all things pertaining to the past. Okay, so communication from the past, ways you've expressed yourself from the past. I'll get into Sagittarius. Sagittarius can represent travel. It can relate to trips you've taken in the past. Is there any unresolved communication? Letters you need to write, messages you need to write and send, people you need to talk to, information that you need to update. Okay, so every retrograde period relates to things that have been unfinished, incomplete energy. And so a lot of people get really worried about the retrograde. Oh no, everything's gonna go crazy, right? Well, how do you get above that? Okay, number one, write a list of anything coming to your mind right now that you need to complete. Are there things you need to go through? Are there papers you need to file? Write a list today or the next couple days, things you need to complete. Is there communication that still you need to finish? Okay, Mercury represents an opportunity to go back and finish those things that have not been completed. Okay? Yes, I know. We are used to, in this society, constantly moving forwards. It's a very yang, in the West, a very yang society, energy external. Okay, create this thing, keep moving forwards, make. Always external. And so retrograde times, especially in the planet or sign that they're in, represent a time for us to do a little more internal work, to go a little bit deeper inwards. When it's in the planet Mercury's retrograde, it represents the energy of the mind. To slow down, to assess, what do I need to finish? What do I need to complete mentally, with communication, with networking, with relationships? Because one way that we really express or embody communication is through our relationships. Okay? So it's not necessarily a time we need to freak out about, okay? But rather a time to assess, define, and recalibrate certain areas in our life. And by knowing the sign and the planet that is retrograde, we have the greatest power to reassess what's happening in our life. So reassess, reactivate, reintegrate, regenerate, renew. Retrograde relates to every single RE word around the specific energy of that planet and energy. So since it's Mercury, it means to reassess your thoughts, reassess your thinking, reassess your communications, reassess anything and everything that you do with the mind, because Mercury is the planet of the mind, how we think, what we think about, who we communicate with, how are we communicating with them. Okay, so don't be scared with Mercury retrograde. Simply see it as an opportunity to create new balance and harmony in patterns of communication. Now, if we were looking at the individual and how Mercury retrograde affects the individual, how does Mercury retrograde affect the collective whole? Okay, and so in astrology, Mercury represents communication. It also represents the media. Okay, so there could be things from the past that are going to be revealed through social media, through the internet, through the newspapers, right? Any form of communication, there will be revelation. There will be things from the past being brought up to be discussed, to be resolved, to be reintegrated, to be reactivated. Okay? So now, how is this really exciting? How can we get really excited about this Mercury retrograde? So, the sign that Mercury retrograde is in for the next month, and this is amazing because Mercury goes direct January 1st. Wow. So we have the next 2 weeks to really dive deep and see what do we need to resolve when it comes to communication in our relationships, in our work, in our businesses, with our friends, with our neighbors. what could we resolve here? Okay, till the new year. This is great, right? End of the year, finish up, resolve, get ready for 2024. And then you'll be able to go forwards with greater clarity, with greater vision, with greater excitement, with greater ease, because you'll have released those old patterns that were holding you back that you didn't even know about. So what sign is this Mercury retrograde in? It is in Sagittarius. Okay, so what is Sagittarius anyways? I love Sagittarius, and you are going to love Sagittarius too, because Sagittarius is all about freedom. It's all about expansion. It is the cosmic Santa Claus of the zodiac. What does that mean, Lotus? It is the benefactor sign. Sagittarius loves to give presents. It loves to give. It loves to freely give all the gifts that we have, right? It's that benefactor energy. Sagittarius is obsessed with freedom. It is obsessed, the symbol for Sagittarius is the centaur. Always arching its arrow. The centaurs always have arrows, bows and arrows, arching their arrow towards the highest star. Always seeking that highest expansion. They're freedom lovers. They love to travel the world. They're travelers. They're always going past their limitations, expanding past their boundaries, evolving into their highest beingness. So what does that mean? Let's bring it back to Earth for Mercury to be in Sagittarius. Well, that means our minds are really focused on expansion, freedom, travel, going far places, evolving our consciousness. The other night I was like, what's a really good way to describe Sagittarius energy? And one of the best examples I could think of are the three wise men who were highly educated, philosophically inclined, men, could be women too, who were always evolving their minds and expanding past their container. They're always going beyond. And they see this giant bright star in the sky. And they know because of a prophecy written in some sacred texts. That's another thing. Sagittarius is obsessed with sacred texts, sacred information, sacred knowledge. They were the magi. Okay? And so they discover there on the day they see this giant star, there will be the birth of the great Messiah. And so they follow that star. They follow that star to meet baby Jesus, right? And then once they meet baby Jesus, they bestow upon him gifts, right? Frankincense and myrrh, and probably sacred knowledge as well. And so Sagittarius people, the energy of Sagittarius, Mercury being in Sagittarius, really represents our ability to tap into sacred knowledge and to tune into the gifts from the universe, gifts from the stars, the gifts from sacred text. Many of us, we've read very sacred texts. Many of us have read the Bible. Many of us have read other sacred texts. And when you're reading these pieces of sacred knowledge, there is a feeling of divine energy that comes through. And Sagittarius taps us into this space. Now, having Mercury, the planet of communication, in Sagittarius means that our minds, collectively and individually, are drawn towards sacred information. And how powerful that we are currently approaching Christmas, Hanukah, the solstice, all these sacred days in so many spiritual religious traditions around the world, right? And so Sagittarius relates to us relating to many different points of view, many different philosophies. It loves to learn everything. It's very multicultural, multi-religion. It loves to learn all the sacred truths of God, of the higher, of the highest. Okay, and so Mercury, the planet of communication, means we're thinking about higher concepts, we're thirsting for higher knowledge, we're wanting to learn more, we're wanting to travel in our minds. If we're not wanting to travel geographically, which we probably are, we're wanting to expand our minds, expand our consciousness, travel to new realms, travel to new places and spaces to expand our energy field. That is what is happening collectively with Mercury being in Sagittarius. Okay. And so when you add a retrograde to Mercury being in Sagittarius, all of a sudden, We may have things from the past to resolve related to higher knowledge, related to foreign travel. And if you look at the collective, that could mean issues around foreign countries. That could mean issues related to higher knowledge and, biblical texts. Okay, and yes, we're seeing this. We're seeing this with Mercury being retrograde. There is this expansion of the mind and of consciousness. And it's expanding our awareness of foreign peoples and foreign places. And we're really stepping into this thirst to expand our minds. And with retrograde, we're having to go back and deal with ways that thirst for higher consciousness has gotten blocked. Okay, so where has truth been repressed, suppressed, and denied? So that's a pretty heavy energy, isn't it? And so collectively, mentally, emotionally, we're feeling the edges where our truth has been suppressed, where freedom has been suppressed, where other countries have instituted issues around suppressing freedom, suppressing truth. And so with Mercury being retrograde in these signs, guess what? Truth is coming to the light because Mercury represents the media. Sagittarius represents truth and freedom, higher knowledge, higher awareness, sacred texts, foreign places, foreign countries. And so having Mercury in Sagittarius going retrograde today, 2 weeks before the most holy day in many religions and spiritual faiths of the solstice, of Christmas, of Hanukah, there's a lot of energy around truth coming to light, my friends. And sometimes truth coming to light, right, exactly. I hear you, Etienne. Beautiful suggestion. I stick to this platform because energetically it feels right to me. I know that my information will get to the right people and places and moments that it needs to reach, just like all of us are here sharing our truth and getting our message out to the world. It is time. So that's another thing I need to talk about. Mercury in Sagittarius being retrograde. Are you a truth speaker? Are you someone here with a divine message and awareness within you that needs to be shared? I'm looking at you. Yeah. So Mercury retrograde speaks to, hey, have you felt the tug and pull from your heart to get your truth out into the world? It's time. So this Mercury retrograde is going to be really asking you to dive deep and to really finally face that edge that is stopping you from fully embodying, fully expressing, and getting your truth out to the world. Because guess what? It is time. How many of you know that? How many of you feel that you are being called into action? How many of you feel a divine knowledge, Mercury in Sagittarius, sacred knowledge, that you have held maybe for lifetimes, that is pushing against the boundaries of your being to be shared? Yeah, I can see all of you raising your hand. Okay? And I can't even see you. I can feel you all raising your hand. It's time. What is it going to take, collectively, individually, for us to own our truth, to open the gates, and to finally speak it? Get on here and do a live. Have some courage. Because it's not about what you look like. It's not about how you sound. It's about the true message of your heart. And with Mercury in Sagittarius, there's a strong desire to express truth. And there is a strong desire in the collective for the truth to be spoken. Okay? Wow. How powerful is that? I am excited about this Mercury retrograde. I am friggin' excited because it is time. It is time for us to break through the walls and as a people collectively choose to speak our truth. It is time. And you all are bright lights. If you're watching this, you are a bright friggin' light. And your truth and your message is a gift. And Mercury, Sagittarius is all about the gift. Okay, Sagittarius brings the gifts. It's the benefactor. It's this energy. It's ruled by the planet Jupiter, which is the gift giver. It's this big energy of giving our gifts. So at this holy day, holiday time, when we think of giving gifts to each other, Mercury in Sagittarius is inviting us to give the gift of our truth, to give the gift of our expression, to give the gift of our communication. Okay? And I always think of those sacred magi following the bright light star to find that holy sacred birth of the divine one, to come forth, to follow that magic, to bring forth the gifts and blessings. You know, think about it this way. This holy child, this Jesus energy in my heart, it represents, I know it to represent, our higher self being birthed, our own divine baby self, holy self being birthed onto this earth. Imagine those magi are the gifts of the universe, and they come to bless each one of us as we claim our holy sacred right of truth of who we are. So are you going to allow yourself to tap into, to tune into, and get your truth, your gift? Your truth is your gift. Your purpose is your truth. Your truth is your purpose. What is in your heart? What is in your soul? What is your message? In the next 2 weeks, you're going to be asked, the universe is going to push to encourage you to activate your sacred knowledge, your sacred gnosis, to bring it forth for humanity and for yourself. And so I'm excited. I am excited to see you all be activated and inspired at the same time that the world leaders, the world countries are going to be asked and demanded by the universe that they reveal truth. So too are we going to be asked to go deeper into our truth and reveal that message, so that when we start 2024, January 1st, our truth is going to come through with a force and a power of light that this earth has never seen before. And you all feel it, you know it, that is on the horizon. There is a power, there is an energy of us stepping into finally and claiming our truth, our gnosis, our knowing, our soul power. And that is what I see coming this 2024. I'm excited. Don't allow this Mercury retrograde, don't allow the desire to go inwards to think that you're going backwards. Mercury retrograde is asking you to reassess, to reimagine, to renew, to rejuvenate, to reactivate your connection to your divine knowing, your mental and logical and perceptual mind relationship to your truth and to your higher self and to your knowing. This is going to be happening all around us. So allow yourself to go within. The sun is still in Ophiuchus. It is about to conjunct the sacred galactic center. The galactic center, of course, being connected to gigantic supermassive black holes. And these black holes are actually symbolic of the divine sacred womb, because from the void, from the sacred space, do we create all life. That is where all seeds are when they then burst into life and begin to grow, is in the dark. In our mother's womb, we start in the dark. And so do not be afraid of the yin. Do not be afraid of going within. Allow yourself and allow the wisdom of your higher self to come through to activate your own gnosis, your own truth, your own higher wisdom, because we are transforming the world right now. And that heaviness and that density you feel is the shifting gears of the planet Mercury, of the mind, slowing down in relationship to the earth. And so we're going forwards and Mercury is going back, seemingly back, but it's just slowed down. So that means our minds need a little time to rest here. Our minds, little time for reflection. Slow down, okay? What if the biggest gift that you could give is the gift of your own soul energy purpose alignment? You aligning to you, being grounded and connected to your truth and your power, is the biggest gift you could give anyone these holy days. And as you connect to you and begin to bring your truth through, that is the biggest gift then that you can give to others. So I invite you all to focus on how can you give your truth, your soul message to others, and how can that be the biggest gift this holiday, holy time ever. So I am Lotus Dawn. I am Blossom with Lotus. It's all about blossoming into the true, pure abundance of our soul power, our soul purpose. If you have questions, please reach out. Please message me. I appreciate you all. And remember, we are co-creating this world. We are calling in truth. We are calling in beauty and power. Retrograde simply marks a more yin time around the energy of that planet. So, they say slow down. Be more careful when you're driving because our mental energy has gone more inwards when Mercury is retrograde. That's why you have to be more careful with your travel plans, because the energy of that Mercury, which is the planet of travel, is more inwards. Just slow it down. Invite in more self-reflection. Invite in more self-care. Give the gift of self-care. Give the gift of calming down, right? This holiday holy time, can we really practice being more giving to ourselves as a gift to give to others, right? So many years we've spent the holiday time giving, and just lose our own inner focus. So can we continue to give and also give to ourselves so that we can come from a full cup, so that we can deliver our gifts with ease and joy and glory for all. So happy holy days, my friends. Happy time of the soul, connecting to all that is. I appreciate you all. If you have any questions, comments, I'd love to hear from you. What's happening in your worlds right now with this Mercury retrograde? How is it feeling for you? And what are your goals, dreams, visions for 2024? It's an exciting time with this new moon energy still in effect. I'll get that replay up soon from my Ophiuchus new moon class. That was amazing. And I really love and appreciate you all. Thank you all so much for your support over the years. It is such a gift and an honor to share the knowledge, the gnosis from Source that I get to share with you all. So thank you so much, everyone. You all are a gift. You all are a blessing. I see your lights out there shining in this world, being the lighthouse of truth, the lighthouse of love, and you are valuable. You matter. Each of us, every moment, we are creating the good on this earth. And I see you all. I appreciate you all. Remember, we are the lights. We are the lights of truth, and as we hold our truth and we broadcast truth, we create truth on this earth, on this planet for all beings. So hallelujah, praise God, praise the light, praise our soul essence for being here at this moment, incarnate, pulling in, drawing in truth and freedom for all beings through all directions of time and space. And so may it be, and it is so, and it is so, and it is so. Thank you all so much. From my heart to yours. Aloha.